Welcome in, everybody, to another deep dive. Today we'll be talking all about a song that I'm sure you've all heard at one point or another, at least the name of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it's powerful, but, we're going to go beyond just like, oh, yeah, that song exists. We're going to really get into like the history and especially, why it matters to education and honestly to everyone.
Absolutely.
No matter what you look like or where you come from.
Right. Yeah, I think it has a message that resonates, with everyone. And we'll dive into all that.
For sure. And it's a particularly interesting song because it's got such a journey behind it. I mean, from starting in a single schoolhouse in Jacksonville to becoming, this almost anthem.
Yeah, you could call it a Black national anthem.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. And we're going to get into like how it even got to that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we're not just talking about like some assembly hall, song that everyone just sings along to because they have to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depth here.
Well, let's start with the origins of the song. I think that's a great place to begin. So the story begins in 1900 at the Stanton School in Jacksonville, Florida. And James Weldon Johnson, who was the principal there, he wrote the lyrics to this powerful song to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's birthday.
Oh, wow.
And so imagine this 500 school children at a segregated school during that era come together to sing this song for the first time.
Wow.
It must have been such a powerful moment.
Just the imagery there, it's just like, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. 500 voices, all united at a time when just gathering was, in some cases, a form of defiance.
Exactly. And that's a really important point to make because, we're talking about the Jim Crow era here. We're talking about a time when whites-only signs were everywhere, segregation was the norm, and opportunities for Black people were severely limited. So in this context, imagine trying to instill hope in children who face these daily realities. That's the world Lift Every Voice and Sing was born into.
So it was more than just a song, it was a statement.
Exactly. It was an anthem of resilience. It was a testament to the strength and perseverance of the Black community in the face of adversity. And it was a call to action for equality.
It really kind of puts it into perspective when you think about, that historical context that it came out of. And I think that's why, it's so important to talk about this song, particularly here in Florida, because, it really speaks to our state's own journey towards civil rights, that constant quest for equality and really making sure education is equitable for every student that comes through the doors.
Right. And I think what you're touching on there is so crucial. This isn't just about Black history. It's American history.
Right.
Understanding the history of Black people in America, their struggles for basic human rights, their fight for education, that is understanding American history. It's not a separate story. It's interwoven with the fabric of our nation.
And that's why it's so important to make sure that every student, no matter what their background is, actually learns about this and hears this song and understand where it came from and what it means?
Absolutely. I completely agree. It's about recognizing the shared history we have and how it shapes who we are as a nation today.
So, okay, we get that it started in this one school, but how did it spread? Was it like a top-down thing? Was it like, the government was like, everyone needs to sing this song?
No, not at all. It was actually quite the opposite. It spread very organically, almost like a seed that was planted and then grow on its own. You see, graduating students from Stanton School would become teachers themselves, and they would carry this song with them to new classrooms across the South.
Wow, so they were kind of like the original sharers.
You could say that it was passed down through generations of educators, each one recognizing the power of the song and its message and wanting to share that with their students.
It's incredible that it wasn't like, someone forcing this. It was more about the passion behind it.
Exactly. It was about the genuine belief in the song's ability to inspire hope and unity. And I think that's what made it so powerful. It wasn't just about the music. It was about the message, the history, the cultural connection it provided.
So it wasn't just some, song that got thrown into the music class curriculum. It was clearly something more.
You're absolutely right. It became ingrained in the culture of these schools, a source of strength and a reminder of the journey towards equality.
That's really powerful. And it's interesting how, it wasn't just about recounting historical facts or anything. The lyrics themselves, paired with that really soaring melody, they spoke to something deeper, I think.
I agree. It was almost spiritual. It spoke to a sense of hope that transcended the facts themselves.
It's like it gave them a way to, remember the past and learn from it, but also to look to the future with a sense of purpose.
Exactly. It was about finding strength in shared experiences, having faith in a brighter future, and understanding that they had a role to play in making that future a reality.
And I think that's a message that is just as relevant today as it was back then. Right. I mean, this isn't just some, relic of the past. This is something that still speaks to us.
Without a doubt, Lift Every Voice and Sing is very much alive in modern education. Yeah. And it's not just sung during Black History Month, it's incorporated into the curriculum in meaningful ways. Schools are using it in literature lessons, dissecting the poetry, exploring the historical context, connecting it to discussions about social justice.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
It's become a tool for teaching not just about history, but also about critical thinking, empathy, and the importance of fighting for what's right.
So it's like it's evolved with the times, but the core message is still there.
Exactly. It's adapted to the needs of today's students while still honoring its powerful origins and its enduring message of hope and resilience. It's not just in classrooms either. You hear this song at HBCU graduations.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's not just ceremonial, it's a real visceral reminder of those battles fought for Black education, a celebration of achievement when the odds were stacked against them.
You're right. Speaking of HBCUs, for those who might not be familiar, what exactly are those again?
Historically, Black colleges and universities, they were institutions that were born out of necessity, when access to mainstream education was denied. So for HBCUs, this song carries even more weight, I think. It represents generations of perseverance and that ongoing pursuit of academic excellence.
Yeah, it's like a testament to their legacy and the fight that they had to go through for educational equality.
Yeah. And the beauty of Lift Every Voice and Sing is that it speaks to anyone who's faced adversity. It transcends racial boundaries and speaks to that universal human desire for justice and equality and the opportunity to just reach your full potential.
It's powerful how a song can be, born out of such a specific struggle, but then have such broad appeal.
Well, because at its core, it's a song about hope, about the human spirit's ability to rise above challenges. And that's something that resonates with everyone, no matter what your background is.
Right. And it's not just in classrooms and graduation ceremonies either.
No.
The source material mentions it's performed at school assemblies and sporting events, all sorts of gatherings.
Yeah, it's become this symbol of unity and inclusion, this reminder that we're all connected and striving towards a common goal.
Yeah.
Imagine you're at a school assembly and you hear this song. It doesn't matter what your background is, you suddenly feel part of something bigger. A community united by hope and that shared desire for a better future.
It's like a musical thread that weaves everyone together.
And that's so important, especially today when there's so much division in our society. Lift Every Voice and Sing offers this really powerful message of unity, this reminder that we're all in this together.
Yeah, it's like a call to come together and recognize our shared humanity.
And to work together to build a more equitable society for everyone, because that's what the song's really about. It's not just about remembering the past, but using that knowledge to create a better future.
Now, I know the song's been lauded for its educational value, but the sources also mention there have been challenges to its inclusion in some schools. Why do you think that is?
It's a complex issue. I think some people just might not understand the song's historical and cultural significance. They might see it as just a Black song rather than a song about the American experience.
Right.
And then others might just be uncomfortable with discussions about race and inequality. They fear it'll cause division or conflict.
It sounds like there's a fear of tackling those tough conversations head on.
Unfortunately, that's often the case, but those conversations are necessary if we want to create a more just and equitable society, and Lift Every Voice and Sing can actually be a catalyst for those conversations.
Yeah.
It provides a starting point, a way to engage with difficult topics in a meaningful way.
You're right. It's not about shying away from our history, but confronting it, learning from it, and then using that knowledge to build a better future.
Exactly, and that's why these ongoing efforts to designate Lift Every Voice and Sing as a national hymn are so important.
I was just going to ask about that. There's been a lot of talk about making it a national hymn. What impact do you think that would have?
Well, imagine Lift Every Voice and Sing being played alongside the Star-Spangled Banner at national events, It would be such a powerful symbol of inclusion.
Yeah, a recognition of all those diverse voices that make up our nation.
Exactly. It would say to the world, this is who we are, we recognize and celebrate our complex history, and we are committed to building a future where every voice matters.
It'd be a statement of unity, a commitment to working together towards a more equitable society.
And think about the educational impact. If Lift Every Voice and Sing were a national hymn, it would spark so many more conversations about its history and significance. It would encourage people to learn about the struggles and triumphs of Black Americans and how those are inextricably linked to the American story.
It would force us to confront uncomfortable truths, to learn from the past, and work towards a better future together.
Exactly. Recognizing this song as a national hymn would be a huge step towards acknowledging our shared history, both the good and the bad, and committing to creating a future where every voice is heard and valued.
Yeah, that would be pretty powerful to have a song that truly reflects that diverse tapestry of our nation.
It would be transformative. It would show the world that we're not afraid to acknowledge our past and that we're committed to creating a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
So it's not just about a song, it's about recognizing that power of music to unite us, to educate us, and to inspire us to create a better world. It's about acknowledging the importance of Black history not as a separate story, but as an integral part of the American narrative. And it's about recognizing that ongoing struggle for equality and committing ourselves to building a more just and equitable society for everyone.
Beautiful said. And that's something we all have a role to play in.
Absolutely. We can all learn from the message of this song and use it to guide our actions, both big and small. We can educate ourselves about Black history, support initiatives that promote equality, and really, challenge injustice wherever we see it.
Absolutely. Every little bit counts. Every voice makes a difference.
Right. It's amazing how a song, born over a century ago can still hold so much relevance today. It speaks to that enduring power of music and its ability to connect us across time and cultures.
And it really highlights the importance of understanding history, not just as a collection of facts, but as a living narrative that shapes who we are and who we aspire to be.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Lift Every Voice and Sing, I want to bring it back to you, the listener. What does this all mean for you? How does understanding the history and significance of this song change the way you hear it?
I think it encourages a much deeper appreciation for the song's message. It's not just about beautiful melodies. It's about the struggle for equality, the resilience of the human spirit, that unwavering belief in a brighter future.
And it challenges us to think about our own roles in creating that brighter future.
Exactly. It's a call to action. It asks us to consider how we can contribute to building a more just and equitable society. It reminds us that even small actions like educating ourselves and having those difficult conversations can have a ripple effect.
So it's not just about listening, but using that song's message to inspire positive change.
Exactly. And that change can start with something as simple as listening to Lift Every Voice and Sing with new ears. Hearing the hope in the lyrics, the strength in the melody, understanding the context from which it was born.
And sharing it with others, right? Keeping that conversation going. Ensuring that the song's message continues to resonate.
Absolutely. The more we understand the history and significance of Lift Every Voice and Sing, the more we can appreciate its power to unite, educate, and inspire us all to strive for a better tomorrow.
Well said. I encourage everyone listening to go back and listen to Lift Every Voice and Sing again. Let the lyrics wash over you, let the melody move you, and let its message of hope and resilience inspire you to be a force for positive change in your own community.
Because when we lift every voice, when we recognize the power of our collective stories, that's when true progress can begin.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've gained a new appreciation for Lift Every Voice and Sing and its enduring message. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving to make the world a more equitable and harmonious place for everyone.